Hi everyone, it's Judah Studios here, and welcome to the channel where we talk about comic books and superhero lore of the African diaspora. So further ado, let's get started. And of course, I'm gonna do this a lot. I'm gonna do that a lot. And we got this in League of Heroes, of course. And today we are going to talk about Chainsmaster, aka the Grey Knight. This is this youth right here in all of his glory. So yes. Um like I said, if I do this aside, let's not hold on the thing. So basically, Chainsmaster now. He's a like I say, he's another American hero. He's from actually the Washington state. So it's kinda like in northwest of the USA. So I think that's quite cool. Anyway, so he's like from like Washington, and he is like a billionaire, and we'll talk about the origins of how he became that and how he actually became the chain wielder, the chains master. But anyway, yes. And if you're hearing loud music in the background, that's my siblings and family. So don't worry, don't worry about my parents or my relatives. That's all right. But lovely. Anyway, let's get started. So of course, when he was young, he was with his friends, and they were wandering off way too far. But they was wandering off, and they went missing, and etc. And then he was looking for his friend, and what happened was that basically when he was walking off, because I don't know what's that beach, but they should have beaches because it could be warm there too. But yeah, there are beaches, etc. But the thing is that in the night time, there's a specific place in this beach. There's a desert, but in daytime it's like sand, but in nighttime it's actually not sand. It's actually silver graphite. So it's like miniature silver. And you wonder, what's all that silver doing there, you're asking? Well, I don't know either. That's the reason why, like I said, he's a recent superhero in the comic universe. Even though I published him around like 7 years ago. Not like early like Heru or Captain Jamaica. But I did purchase him there, but I didn't like make the whole origin story of why is that certain part in Washington made out of silver graphite. Because in the day it looks yellow, but in the night it looks grey. Hence, grey. Anyway, all jokes aside, he was there, and how would I put it? So he was there, and then he like fell into this thing, and he found this hidden castle. Like he just triggered some kind of like artifact. It just opened this thing, and through this huge castle came out from the ground. So I think that's really good. But the thing is that when you go in there, he looked around, he looked at his old artifacts and his old things, like some Native American thingies, and then he had those colonizers, settlers, etc., etc. Then he realized that he sees this awesome suit. He sees this awesome suit, and it's like silver, So and it's like grey. It's really cool. Ever since he went there, he used it as a secret location to fight crime because, like I said, he's also from a part of Washington, not like Seattle, but next to it, that's like, kind of like a crime place where it's like quite corrupt, and it's been doing good. But the thing is that his dad, his dad now, like he's like like a how would you say? He's like a sense of like politician person, and his mom is like a lawyer doctor. So he like came from that kind of wealth. He kind of like middle class. He's not like rich, extremely rich. He made the billions like after when he got like over age over time and when he got older. But with his parents, he done that. And also, what I'm gonna say now. And if you're asking like what he's been doing since he's older, he's been actually been doing politician and senator work himself. But he's not the ones outside like a president and all those like popular kind of celebrity kind of celebrities. He's just behind the scenes. Cause like I say, he fights crime at the same time. He's talking about the things as well. So he's like that also. And he got his riches because of deals and the charities and kind of trade ships, executives, and he got it from like brokers, etc. So he got a lot of branches in like investment, finance, and business and company. And since he has that reach, he can make a lot of millions. And he's one of like the richest African person, if not the richest person in Washington, not itself, not just Seattle or the other place he's raised. He's just rich in American general. He's up there. So he worked really very hard for it while fighting crime. So yeah. And yeah, like a disclaimer, like his favorite color is grey, and he has waves. Yeah, that wasn't necessary, but then I thought it was necessary. But it's not the obvious. But anyway, what I did to talk about is his costume, of course, because he has villains. But the thing is, like, he doesn't have superpowers or abilities either. just like Jorgen. So basically, what makes him really good is that he has these gadgets that help him fight crime. And of course, you can tell, literally his name, he has this chain. But it's not any other chain. This chain, right, is made out of a rare metal that does not be melted by heat. It melts by cold. So the more colder the weather, that's when it melts. The more hotter it gets, that's when it gets hard. I mean, it will burn and like melt your flesh and your meat off you. But still, like, that's how it works. You need like some hydro peroxide or some really cold thing just to melt that thing. And also, that the metal itself, the chain as well, is coated in diamond dust. So it's not just made out of rare metal, it's also made out of like some crystal diamond. So that thing is like indestructible. Like, the chain's so strong, right? I will over exaggerate it. If you had like Pluto and you took a chain on that and you had it like, there's like a heavy or sized Pluto, something really heavy, and it was hanging from Jupiter. Let's find something smaller, but because it shows how strong it is. If you had like a huge land in space, right, like how people say pour water on the sun, even though that's not logically possible, but then this whole superhero thing, not necessarily not logically possible because it doesn't make sense. But yeah, that's beside the point. We'll talk about it in the next video. But yeah, if this chain was like hanging from something and it was holding Pluto, that's how strong it is. I keep over exaggerate that as well. If you have multiple planets hanging from it, that's how strong it is. This metal is no joke. The metal comes from, you guessed it, you thought I was going to say space, innit? No, it comes from the planet, but it does come from space anyway, because Earth is technically in space as well. But it's a really rare metal. And like I said, the suit he's wearing, the metal, it's been around for like hundreds of years, even like thousands, because like I said, this is a thing that they use in the Renaissance in Europe. As you can tell, like, look how it has this medieval thing. And like I said, it's really hard to disintegrate because the metal it used, it does like hardly rust. Because like I said, it does like water, anything that's like the opposite, water, something will kind of like doesn't rust. That's how powerful it is. It doesn't decay like that. So it's really cool. So, and also what makes it cool is that the metal's light, so it's not even heavy. So as you can tell, he uses this chain to swing around, and he uses it to like do that cowboy thingy where he just wraps people around it. And he does use people to hit with, but he doesn't like overdo, because he like, if he overdoes the hitting, it will end up like killing someone. Like, for example, grab someone by the neck and accidentally snap them, or hangs them off from a thing, like throw them off a building, and then he like catches them from it, obviously break a bone. I mean, he does like beat up people, like beat up bad guys. Man said people, but beat up bad guys. But you know, he does that for a good reason. Like stop them and kill them at jail, etc. And since he actually been around Seattle or Washington, crime's been going down ever since, you know, because he's been doing that all a lot, and he's been doing that recently. And the thing is that even with him, what do you call it? Even with him himself, like there are other superheroes in around this thing, but no one's not big like him. He kind of like started off the whole trend in Washington. I mean, he's not like the first hero in America, but when it came to like heroes doing the same thing he does, like in his like around his area, people pick up because he's done it in the earliest, because he started his career in like also the 1980s, I think, or is that too early? Maybe the 1990s, but I don't know specifically. What I know is that he's really like an early bird kind of superhero, and he's matured as well. So like I said, he no really superpowers. He does kind of like have people take care of the house for him, because he has technically 2 houses. He has like a mansion, and like has like those kind of expensive flats, etc. And you know things, and he kind of buys those and take care of stuff. So like he's not just like a good fight. He's like, he's rich. He's a billionaire. He got a lot of like brokers and extensions and stuff. And of course, the main villain, as you can tell before, is a purple wheeling devil person called Demonicus. He is also someone that is another really wealthy person, but he does it the illegal way. So Chasemaker he always rich and wealth legally, but then Demonicus is someone that gets it through illegal like trading and do like bad things, and so like a mafia kind of thing, like a mob boss kind of person. And he has like fighting frequently as well, because he's one of the people that makes the whole thing difficult and fights a lot of stuff. And as you can tell, I don't say again, he is also, Chainsmaster is also a part of like the Mythical Warriors, but not like straight away, just later on in the storyline. And he's kind of like the most kind of leader kind of type. I mean, there are leaders in the Mythical Warriors, but he's one of that person that's got strategic and charisma. And it's always funny, the people with no powers that technically just talks and do that is bigger power. But I don't know. So I think it's just really good. And I think it's cool. And he has other villains. He has like Faceless, think that's a really horror kind of based super villain. And then he gets like other things like Two-Face, no. I don't know. Like I said, this kind of have a decent amount of villains. Not like a lot like Explosion or even Haru, but he just has a lot as well. But like I said, I'm really happy making him as well. Like I said, I like making all of these. They're all different, unique, and also he has a sidekick called Lynch. But he's called like Lyncher, but it's called Lynch. I think that's really quite cool as well. And this time, it's not about using the metal. He's added like a cowboy, so he's around kind of the Texas area, and then moved to Seattle like to get like some education and a job there instead. And I think it's just like well-being. He kind of like rides a horse. He's kind of like a low-key Little Nas X, but then I actually made the Lynch character before Little Nas X. Actually, I mean not like way before him, like when he was alive, but before I even knew Little Nas X was, I had a character that just had like a cowboy, and he had like a rope, and he just tied people and just helps them out. But you know, the way he actually does stop villains, like he doesn't kill them, but the way he stops them is quite controversial. But then again, we'll do another separate video on him in the near future. So yes. So yeah, everyone, that's about it. So of course, like, comment, share, subscribe, and give it a thumbs up if you actually like the video, and tell me what you want to do next. If you want to see more, like more content, like side plot, like content, subgenres, wait, what am I saying? Subtopics, if I said before, no. Anyway, you can check out my gaming and my PC, like a console kind of smartphone channel. That's where I do Judah Gaming. That's what it's called, Judah Gaming. And if you like music and producing, you can check out my Judah Music. Judah Music on the other one in the description as well, and comment there on this video. And if you like unboxings and tutorials, you can check out my Judah Extra. And of course, if you like comic book and superheroes, you subscribe to this channel here, Judah Studios, Judah Comics. And yes, and check me out, follow me and subscribe to me on Instagram, Snapchat, Twitter and Facebook, and you can check me out on Discord and Twitch and Spotify and SoundCloud. I'm all over the place, okay, mates? And buy my stuff, and buy my merchandise, buy my comic books also. I'm all over the place. I need that support, man. I need that bread. I was trolling. But yeah, what do you want me to do? Which superhero you think I should do next? And tell me in the description below. Like I said, I got a lot of superheroes out there. I'm ready to explain them to you, and I can't wait to put them in the mainstream media in the near future. So that's about it, everyone. It was Judah Studios. Stay safe, stay calm. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye. Oh, what's this?